session is focused on air and what we can do to reduce our overall emissions.
Clean air is important. It is something that you have in abundance in Manitoba. Please don't let it go. It is so important. When you live through the smog and the Chernobyls, actually were affected by it, you appreciate it when you come to Manitoba and have what you have here. Biomass, a renewable energy source. What is biomass? Look out the window. Everything out there, the green, what you can see, that's biomass. It's biological material derived from living matter or recently living organisms. There is so much that can be turned into biomass, yet we totally disregard it. That is an absolute crying shame. Commonly plant matter, as I said, it's out there. You can see it. Go down the landfill site, it's there. Where does it come from? As I said before, wood. Agricultural residues. All sorts of residues left behind combines, behind harvesters. That can all be used. Dedicated energy crops, recyclable waste. Again, how many of you throw stuff in the garbage that never gets recycled? And it could be, it should be. It can be used for producing food, for producing heat and energy, and that's what it comes down to. Animal and human waste. Again, people don't realize, but animal fats can be turned into a biodiesel. Does it happen? Yes, it can happen. It is happening. But do we really go ahead with it here in Manitoba? No, I don't think we do. As I said, municipal waste. Absolute tragedy that more municipal waste isn't used. We have a classic example in Brandon where the municipal site is opposite the power plant. The power plant is burning coal. Other parts of the world, there are some places that are burning up to 5 million tons of biomass, cogeneration fired with coal. Cut down all your greenhouse gases, improve your air quality. Again, we just ignore it. It's a shame because Brandon could show just how efficient it could be on a small scale because it is not a large power plant. Wouldn't it be nice to see it happening here? If you look at the wood biomass, environmental advantages, trees attract birds and mammals. Trees absorb carbon dioxide, yes, you were taught that at school. Return oxygen to the atmosphere. No, it just doesn't come out. It comes out in the form of vapor, but there is oxygen coming out. It's carbon neutral. When you burn it, you don't produce more pollutants. You just return what was there to start with or what the tree took in. It controls erosion. That's a very important part of farming in this province alone. There are areas where in the last 25 years, 50% of the topsoil has been eroded either by water or wind. It controls that, so it's something we really should be thinking about. Agricultural residues, waste left behind when the crops are harvested. People surrounding Winnipeg know just how serious that is. It may be the burning of crops in the fields may be stopped very shortly. If not this year. That could be turned into pellets or even burnt in whole bales to produce, again, heat and energy, which are the two important things. Many Manitoba farmers believe all residues need to be left on the land as fertilizer and organic matter. Yes, I agree with that. We desperately are short of organic matter. It has been depleted over the years. If it was done on a rotational basis, it certainly could be done. And other countries, other smaller countries, resources that we have are looking to straw to produce quite large amounts of power. Something we could quite easily do here. Combination of wheat straw, canola straw, and glycerol, a byproduct of biodiesel, makes pellets which produce the same BTUs per ton as carbon pellets, which is about as good as you can get. Something again that could be done, could be bring rural employment to us and could make a difference. Not only is it available for use, excuse me, but not only is it available for use here, but it's also an export product, which again would be nice. Anybody who goes down to the Carmen area, some of the Mancia people did recently, we saw flax shrives, which is a byproduct of the flax industry, being successfully used to heat greenhouses. Another byproduct down there was a paralog, which is a highly compressed flax shrive, which can be burned, has all sorts of uses. There's only one plant which is now being built. Why aren't there more? Furnaces for general use, again, something that could be promoted and used here. A furnace that will burn straw in particular is slightly different of a furnace that burns anything else. You need a water grade, you have a high chlorine content, and those have to be slightly different to the average wood burning stove. So again, that could be rural employment. If we could take a lesson from them, the technology is there, it's been done, all we have to do is import it. Some of the crops that can be grown, miscanthus can be grown in Manitoba on a field spare. Switchgrass, yield is too low to be economical. Hemp, research is ongoing. Corn and wheat. This comes down to this food versus fuel discussion. The problem is, as a farmer, and I know many others feel the same, you will go out and pay extra money for energy. Will you pay for food? You get 72 loaves from a bushel of wheat. If wheat goes up by $2 a bushel, you will see a report in the paper that it's got to go up by 10 cents a loaf. Somebody's making money and it's not the farmer. But you will go and pay for gas without thinking about it. This is a whole new thinking. Ethanol, grown for using corn and using wheat for a fuel, to run your vehicles on. How much water is that taking? Do some research. The best I've seen so far is about 4 litres of water to 1 litre of ethanol. We have clean water for how long at that rate? Sorghum, again, difficult to grow in Manitoba. Sugarcane does not grow in Manitoba, but is the most efficient form of producing ethanol. Brazil is the world leader. Sugar beet can be grown in Manitoba, 6 times more efficient for ethanol than grain crops. Food versus energy debate. Are we really taking any notice of it? Lack of material being recycled. That's down to you people out there. What are you sending to be recycled? Just think about it sometimes. On to anaerobic biodigesters using animal and human waste. You hear a lot of publicity. They're being promoted in Canada. We have problems here in Manitoba. One of the things they require is heat. And we don't always get heat in the winter, that's for sure, and they are not very efficient here. The other problem is, it says 70% of all antibiotics manufactured in North America is given to animals. They're very expensive to set up. $1 million is nothing for setting up an aerobic digester. I saw my first one 30 years ago on the Welsh-English borders on a small dairy farm. It worked fairly successfully, but to set up the large ones to cope with modern day agriculture, as I said, $1 million is nothing. What you get out of it at the end may not be sufficient to get a payback on it. Municipal waste. Again, something that we tend to totally ignore here. There's lots of it. Anybody who knows anything about the Waverley West subdivision in Winnipeg, the municipal waste there could probably have powered that whole subdivision. Ignored. Not ignored, but changed direction. Our own local one, which was built some 5 years ago, as I said, chipped the wood and buried it. Again, what a disaster. The waste needs to be compacted properly to get methane out of it. Again, I know municipal sites where there are 3 and 4 large generators running methane gas out of the waste sites. That's cheap power, because where does that methane go otherwise? Just down into the air, affecting the air quality. It's down to all of us to change what we're thinking. We have to have a different foresight for the future. As I said before, we have so much here, we have so much to lose. Let's do it.